What's up, guys? So I wanted to make this quick video to kind of address a little bit of drama that's been going around in the community. None of it has anything to do with me, but it's something that I've heard a lot of people talk about even before it was like a thing in this community. So I kind of want to throw in my 2 cents just so that you guys know where I stand in the argument, my personal opinions about the whole thing, and shit like that. I didn't script this, so this is weird for me. So most of you probably know the drama because of what's going on between Hoodlum Scrafty and Verlisify, which is this whole ethics of like hacking Pokemon into your game. Now this video isn't directed at either YouTuber or any YouTuber who's involved themselves in this drama or any drama pertaining to this subject at all. I'm purely making this just so that you guys know how I feel about all of this and what I consider to be hacking and things to that nature. So the first point that I want to make is that I really don't like calling this hacking Pokemon into your game. Now, of course, this process involves putting custom firmware onto your 3DS and then using third-party programs to generate these Pokemon and place them into your game, which I guess by all technicalities would be hacking, since hacking is manipulating the code of any kind of computer to do what it's not supposed to do. But personally, when I think of hacking Pokemon, I think of making Pokemon that just aren't legal, like Shedinjas with Sturdy or Swamperts with Sap Sipper, like things that aren't legal, that have like illegal stats or illegal movesets or illegal abilities, just things that wouldn't make it through the Nintendo filter. But this idea of hacking has been put onto simply putting legal Pokemon with legal movesets and legal stats and legal abilities into your game faster than what it takes to breed and train these Pokemon on your own. Now, I personally have any Pokemon that I need genned for me because I don't have the time to breed and train Pokemon, which I'll get into later. But any Pokemon that I need is only for the purpose of getting footage for my own videos, which is normally just the top 5s, really. And then, of course, when I participate in the Roulette FFAs with either Callum or Duncan. I don't have Pokemon genned for competitive battle because I'm not a competitive battler. I am a YouTuber and a shiny hunter. I don't really care about competitive battle. I kind of know some of the Smogon tiers, and then I have no idea what even goes on in VGC. It's all Greek to me. So with that being said, I personally feel justified in the fact that I have my Pokemon genned. Some of you will disagree, and that's because there are some people out there who prefer to breed and train their own Pokemon. It feels a little more like you deserve it. And I know that feeling of breeding and training your own Pokemon. I have bred and trained Pokemon before I got into YouTube and everything. I used to do that because, I wanted, these perfect Pokemon to use in battle. And I also did it for the experience of doing it. And I know the rewarding feeling of finally getting that perfect Pokemon and perfectly training them and taking them into battle and whooping some ass in Battle Spot. But that was then, and this is now. Nowadays, I don't really have the time to do things like that. I have videos to work on. But like I said, I can appreciate the rewarding feeling of breeding and training your own Pokemon, but there are just some people out there who it's more convenient, or they just prefer to have their Pokemon genned as long as it's legal and has legal moves and legal stats and like a legal ability. It's fine, in my opinion. The point of not having time also brings me to my second point, which is us YouTubers. Now, more often than not, a Pokemon YouTuber probably has all of their Pokemon genned for whatever they're doing. Like I said, I personally have all of my Pokemon genned for the purpose of getting footage or participating in the Roulette FFAs. Which brings me to Callum and the FFAs. Keep in mind that with every FFA, there are 12 completely randomly generated Pokemon for the whole entirety of the video. If you were to try and breed and train every single one of those Pokemon, even if all 4 worked on it at the same time, it would take days, maybe not days, maybe a day to breed and train these Pokemon, but that's a day that Callum doesn't have. Callum needs to get these videos out with regular consistency for his viewers because that's just what they expect. So of course, for a YouTuber like him and a series like that, genning is just the better way to go. And of course, there are still some people like Verlisify or anybody who's kind of stands on his side of the argument. Like I said, it's not directed at Verlisify, but he stands on that side of the argument. There are YouTubers like him that would say, no, we do have time to do things like that, and I call bullshit, especially for a channel with the size of like Verlisify's. He has like 200,000 subscribers and puts out videos like on a daily basis, sometimes 2, last I checked anyway. I don't really watch your videos, dude. I'm sorry. But YouTubers of his size and even smaller sizes and larger sizes, we'd have to spend lots of time on our videos. Majority of the time, we don't have the time to breed and train all these Pokemon for us to use in our videos. My point here being that YouTubers especially get kind of a free pass from the stigma of hacking Pokemon into your game. You're a piece of shit for hacking your Pokemon. Plain and simple, we just don't have time. We're too busy making videos for your guys' entertainment. Also, I apologize if you've been seeing my hand throughout the video. It's healing just fine, but, you know, it's still kind of gross, so I'm sorry if it accidentally made it into the frame. Anyway, I can understand why anyone would kind of be a little perturbed, is that the word I'm looking for? Perturbed? Peeved? Pissed off, I guess, about people hacking in their Pokemon into their games while they are slaving in front of a daycare, breeding, and whatnot. And I can totally understand. But at the same time, some people just have access to different things that allow them to do things easier. And not even just in Pokemon, in general. Take me, for instance. Right now, my mic is off right here over on the side of the screen. I'm literally right about to touch it. You can only see my hand. And it's a good mic, but it's not the best mic. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to have to edit my audio on my computer to make it sound better. Now, people who have better mics than I do probably don't have that problem because their mic is better. I have to take the long way because I don't have access to something that someone else does, and that's just the way it is. And with that being said, I don't throw shade to people who have better mics than me and say, oh, well, you don't have to fucking edit your audio. I have to edit my audio. My audio sounds good because I worked for it. It's not the person with a good mic's fault that I don't have a good mic. Just like it's not the people with access to being able to gen their Pokemon's fault for being able to gen, and the people who can't gen can't gen. It's not the genable person's fault. You know what I'm saying? Basically, the point of all this is that you guys need to really fucking stop hating on people who have their Pokemon genned, because they either just have access to it and it's more convenient, or it's convenient because they don't have the time to do that. If you have the time to do that and you want to put in the hard work and you want to feel rewarded in finally having that perfect Pokemon that you worked for, fine. But don't throw shade at people who have access to, 3DSs with custom firmware and things like that. Just don't. Just shut the fuck up, dude. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's not like we're all out here making all these illegal Pokemon with illegal movesets and illegal stats and illegal abilities and fucking whooping everybody's asses, because we can't even do that. With the exception being like the Hackmon series over on Callum's channel, but he does that IRL because, when you're next to somebody, you don't have to worry about Nintendo's filters. I'm sorry about the loud engine that just went by. But seriously, just stop throwing shade. It all comes down to preference and convenience and accessibility. So final verdict on my end, hacking Pokemon, as you guys like to say, is totally fine in my opinion. So yeah, but those are just my thoughts. So if you guys want to leave your own thoughts in the comments, cool. If you want to link this to Callum or Verlisify or anybody who's taken sides on this whole argument, whatever, I don't care. This is my opinion. Hacking is okay. So I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode of The Wonderlock, as well as maybe a video about the news that's coming out tomorrow, and then a video coming Friday for you guys that I hope you guys really enjoyed. I think I just put my hand in the frame again, so I'm sorry I just did it again, Jesus Christ. And as always, guys, stay bueno.